find some sort of harmony and balance.
What's up, y'all? BC here. Got a special guest, Dr. Bobby here, who we're going to introduce in a second. I wanted to continue doing the in-person interviews because I know you guys enjoy them so much. So let's get right into it. My friend, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good, man. Good to see you, bro.
Thanks for having me.
I met Dr. Bobby at Boxer a long time ago, right? He runs the RECVR Lab there, and he'll tell you guys all about it here in a second. Cool dude, right? Basketball player. I had an affinity with him right away. And I really wanted to bring him on because he's a good dude. He's great at what he does. His business has grown a lot, and it's been amazing to see what he's done. So, my friend, if you want to give a quick introduction, we'll jump right into it.
So I'm Dr. Bobby, owner of RECVR. RECVR is a one-stop shop, sports recovery lounge, and it's really geared to healing people. So we really worked on the mind, body, and spirit, connecting people, and really just educating people on their body more so, getting to know their body, what they should be doing to be in touch, so that way they can really, really, really mitigate their journey, athletic journey, fitness journey, whatever that may be.
I love it, bro. So right away, man, we started talking. I loved you guys, you, Emily, everybody there. You know, one thing that stood out to me that I want to bring out is, you know, when you go into Boxer, right, it's its own space, it has its own energy. But when I went into the RECVR Lab, I noticed right away you had all the paintings and you put your own little taste on it. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm very, very passionate about Marvel. Super passionate about Marvel. And really the paintings, the idea behind that is that, you know, just growing up, admiring superheroes, you know, Spider-Man, Black Panther, all these people, they had their own story. And, you know, with these superheroes, I really connected with them. In working with people on the table, like just seeing these characters, like they have their thing, I have my thing. And that's connecting with people at RECVR, treating them, you know, just making it a good experience. So for sure, that's like a huge thing, you know, about the space.
Yeah, and you know, I talk with people about that all the time because I find a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, almost have like this hesitation when it comes to expressing their individuality, and symbolism like that to me is very powerful. So I'm sure when you go into your workspace, it gives you a certain type of energy, right?
Oh, 100%. It's comfortable. It's like it's home. It's like a home court, you know. So it's like, I don't know. It's just like when I'm working with people and I just feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm in someone else's space, which I'm not. I don't feel like I'm getting judged, you know, and people are accepting of it. Yeah. So it makes me more open to treating them and giving them the whole package rather than holding back.
Oh yeah, man. I love that. So is this the first new business RECVR location, or had you done this before you opened up at Boxer?
So I had the space in Doral.
Okay.
And we were, you know, building it up and stuff like that. And from there, we're about to open. We ended up having our differences with a business partner, and we moved into Boxer. Okay. And with Boxer, that was actually a very unique situation because they were growing, you know, they're a growing brand, and you see what they have going on in there, you know, with the Lambos and you know, the whole thing,
the big flash,
you know, and the love that they have too, you know, coming in. So having that in building inside of Boxer was one step, and I mean, we're doing it in Midtown, as you know, so it's definitely going to be a different feel, different type of equipment, you know. And a different feel in a positive way, right? Because this is going to be a multiple location type membership. You can go to different places, and I'm very excited about it.
Hey man, and when I started going, was that like right when it had started, or had you guys already started there at Boxer and been established for a while?
Well, I was going, you know, room to room, house to house with my table, you know. So I was more of a concierge concept before Boxer. Yeah. You know, and then we became more part of the gym going into that space. You know, Emily was just at the hospital, you know, she was in the ICU, you know, and stuff like that. So our concierge business concept grew, and now it's more, you know, brick and mortar.
Hell yeah, man.
Retail.
Now, is this your first like entrepreneurial endeavor, or?
I wouldn't say first, for sure. Yeah. I rented cars on Turo.
Nice.
I did personal training. Cool. I I've done a lot of self-employed stuff. You know, I've always been in the service industry, fitness, wellness industry, training my friends basketball,
Yeah.
coaching.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of different things in the entrepreneurial space, but always in fitness and wellness.
And this, I guess, the second question would be: is this like the first brick and mortar type of one then that you've done?
100%. Yeah. Whole different beast. You know, having a team.
Yeah.
I've had a team before, but it wasn't in the sense of basketball. Now having a team in the sense of business, it's different but similar.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest difference for me right now.
And was it just for you really wanting to, because I kind of see this for you also like a passion project, like you really love to do it. Was the decision to go brick and mortar and go that route, like how did that come about from going concierge to going brick and mortar? Was that just like a sudden decision that you made, or did the stars align and it gave you the opportunity?
It was always like, even my business plans and stuff, starting RECVR, it was always to be a concept where you could just plug and play, you know, or you can have a retail space. It could be multiple locations. So I always had that dream of doing it, but I just didn't know the journey of which it would take, you know. So the vision was always there, but definitely the vision's clear now.
Do you want a franchise eventually?
Franchising, yes, but in the sense of where it's a very selective process. It's more of like a Chick-fil-A, you know, selective, you know, maybe 10 franchises. I don't want to dilute the quality that we have.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
I love that, man. And so going back to maybe like when you were still an athlete, was this concept of doing something like this always in you, even from youth, or?
No. So this concept was definitely, okay. So I gotta backtrack. So as an athlete, you know, I did all weird type of things just to recover, you know. I was in jacuzzis. I was stretching in jacuzzis. My ankles were always popping. I had flat feet. It's like I felt pain everywhere. So I was always proactive, but I mean, I wasn't doing the right things early on, for sure. Like I could have been better. I could have done a lot of different things. And the lack of exposure to those stuff that I'm doing now is how this all came about, really, you know. I didn't have cold plunges. I didn't have, you know, the jacuzzi, hot plunges. I didn't have the red light beds. I didn't have the medical professionals around. I didn't have that, especially at a price that we have it, right? So it was definitely a concept that I always had in my mind, but definitely not to have as a business.
Yeah. That's cool, bro, because we were talking off camera. Like I obsessed about that too. And I kind of see that in you as well. Like I was always looking to push to get an extra inch on my vertical, or, you know, fixing the issues I had with my feet, because I had a lot of ankle issues too, ankle injuries, surgeries, flat feet, pigeon-toed, right? All this weird stuff. And my whole thinking was, I just want to maximize what I can do on the court, right? And I feel like you kind of had that same mentality too. And then it overextended and said, well, let me help other people too.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. 100%. So I think a lot of it came too is when I started realizing that my ankles are so sore. I don't even think this is supposed to happen like this. Like it would, I like later on, like it would take me 2 days in between to recover my ankles. Like, and I'm flat footed, I have, the bunion action going on, and I'm not thinking of it because I'm not educated at the time. I'm just a player. I'm just doing these things. But now, hindsight's 2020. It's like I should have wore toe spacers. I should have done all these things. I should have done short foot exercises. Like, and again, that's why this concept is out now, because there's a lack of exposure to these real informative stuff that can really change your life. Even like Nike shoes, like, I hate to sound controversial and stuff like that, but even, some of these shoes don't have bend in the front. And why? A shoe like Nike that's so notorious, such a great brand, why is there not enough bend in the front? We're supposed to encourage big toe mobility, ankle mobility. These shoes are not doing that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's like there's an inside agenda almost, So, I don't want to get too controversial about it, but it's like, it makes you wonder.
You're posing the question, like, why not? Because we're looking at basically mimicking human anatomy, and it's not.
Right.
So it's counterproductive to how we're supposed to mechanically function as a human being.
100%.
Yeah.
And so why? Is it a big pharma thing? I don't know. But,
Yeah.
but what I'm more trying to say is there's biomechanists in Nike, in Adidas, in these places that should be encouraging good foundational concepts.
Right. And it's interesting you bring this up too, because I think now this is very prevalent and almost at the forefront of like athletics, right? Me being an athlete, you being an athlete, we were always aware of these things. Now it's accessible to us. Like you're providing this type of service. And I think most athletes are aware of it. Where I think there's a disconnect potentially, it's like with the average person. They're like, well, I don't need to go to the RECVR Lab because I'm not dunking and running and jumping and sprinting, right? And I think they need it more so than an athlete. Can you shed light on that for a second?
Yeah, in the sense that, like, someone that's working 8 hours at a desk job, they're in a kyphotic position. They're in a posterior pelvic tilt. Their hips are getting imbalanced. There's a whole mess of imbalances that are happening when you're stuck in one position for a long period of time, which, quite frankly, some entrepreneurs are active, some entrepreneurs are not. They're very just stuck in one spot. So back to what you're asking, that's the issue. They need to recover. They need to stretch. They need to work the other way around as far as opening up the chest, opening up the hips, stretching out the glutes, knowing good foundational techniques for yourself, for your body, so you don't have compensatory patterns going up the chain. So they definitely do need it more.
I mean, is there anything else that you would like recommend to people? Because I know talking about high level elite athletes, it's a small sliver of the population, even though they may be following us. Is there some other stuff you could recommend to people, just like basic stuff they can do, aside from the cold plunge and all that stuff, that you would recommend for like the average person who is maybe more sedentary and that kind of stuff?
Well, for sure. I think that knowing a handful of stretches is very, very important, right? Like even starting like as foundational as that, right? Hip openers, knowing how to, floss, which is, stuff that we post on social media, flossing your ankles, relieving ankle tightness, releasing the fascia with a ball, myofascial balls on the bottom of your foot, knowing where you're compensating as well, right? Like, okay, if I'm getting tightness on the bottom of my foot into my inner calf, going up to my IT band, going up to my glute medius, into my low back, well, those are compensation issues based on foot and ankle issues. And if I have foot and ankle issues, okay, I should know these releases and these stretches. So that way it's client-centered to you. So like, again, back to what you're saying, knowing your releases, QL releases, glute releases with the myofascial balls and stuff like that.
And that's huge, because like everything you mentioned, I have like the ball and all that stuff, and I do it all the time. Like even if I'm at the computer, I don't think I'll sit down for more than 20 minutes. Then I get up, I'll do like a deep squat, I'll stretch, right? I've been working on doing the splits. I can pretty much do the splits now. And I work like the opposite, right? I do the shin raises, right? I walk backwards. I do all these little quirky things like the sissy squats, right? Because I understand we are, even though I'm active, more sedentary. We're sitting in cars, we're sitting at desks, and there's all these things that, and when the body functions properly, you also feel better, right?
100%.
Because there's such a focus now, and it's important on mental health and the internal, but the external, I feel like, is thrown to the side or neglected, right? And I would ask you, do people really need to maximize the physical benefits? Do they really need to work out super hard, or is it more about adding simplistic routine things that they can do on a daily basis for longevity?
It's exactly that, right? Like, you don't need to kill yourself in the gym, but you need to have good habits that you're forming, drinking good water, working out that's not impacting your body in the wrong way. You're not doing crazy impact workouts, super, super high, box jumps, doing this, the CrossFit style. Like, I don't typically agree with that, because I think there's a lot of wear and tear that goes into it. So something that's more sustainable. And even from an eating perspective too, like eating whole foods every day, building those foundational stuff. That way everything just aligns together.
What's your thoughts on like alcohol, recreational, social drinking, smoking, that kind of stuff? Like, are you cool with it? Do you tell people to break it out completely? Because I'm more on the hardcore side, where like I'll drink maybe once every couple of years. Like if you tell me, hey, we just opened up the second location, we're going to go celebrate. Okay, I'll have a beer with you, bro, if you really want me to. But that's like rare for me. And it just comes from experience with me. I understand the health benefits of not doing it, but it's also I don't want to do it.
Right.
I don't want to do that stuff because it doesn't feel good.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that alcohol is very, very obviously damaging, and from the sleep science aspect to it, you will never ever get into that deep REM when you're drinking because it just blocks it. Right. From a receptor standpoint.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, you won't get into deep sleep at all.
Wow.
Now, personally, I think that doing, I don't promote really marijuana like that, but I think that for a certain person, it can help them if they're having, a lot of anxiety, depression, and stuff like that.
Because THC does have a lot of benefits, right? It's like anti-inflammatory.
Right.
Yeah.
So
smoking it isn't the best way to.
Smoking is not the best way, and using a lighter to smoke it, it's not the right way. Doing it with a wick where you don't get the flame, you get a more natural flame onto it. There's more healthier ways of doing it. I think that modern society is getting more flexible with that. And there's a good use case for it. And of course, it's a bad use case. So like everything. So I do think that more so with marijuana, there's a place for it than alcohol. Because of the sleep that it does to it.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. I didn't know that. It was interesting that you don't get into that deep REM sleep, because most people think the opposite. Oh, if I drink, I pass out and I'm done. But you're not getting that deep level of sleep that you normally would.
Right.
And it blocks the receptors, like you said. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So, going back to Recover, if we were to give like a general plan, okay, I'm the average guy versus I'm an elite level athlete, and let's say I do have access to the Recover Lab or something like that, is there a frequency that you'd recommend that they go? Like if I'm an elite level athlete, how many times should I go to Recover and take advantage of your facility compared to like an average Joe?
Well, if you're an elite level athlete, you should be in there every day. Right. I think that it's like a bank account. If you're gonna work out, then you got to recover. I think for the the everyday entrepreneur and stuff like that, I think that if they're seated a lot, in positions for a long period of time, they definitely need to be in there 2-3 times a week. Just someone being there with you to guide you, to put their hands on you, to say, hey, your hips are a little tight, this is what we can do, we can guide you this way, we can guide you that way. Or you can speak with a nurse who knows how to stretch, and they understand that, oh, you might be dehydrated, you might be low on B12, people who are low on B12 have issues with TFL. There's different things that they can pick up on. So I think that if you go a minimum of 2 to 3 times a week, I think that definitely you'll get the full recover benefits.
Yeah, I love that, man. And you guys know, because especially if you're following me on social media, when I was still really going to Boxer a lot, I was there every day. Like after a workout, I would jump in immediately. We would do stretching, cupping. Can you talk a little bit about the scope of the facility and everything that you offer?
Yeah. So we have definitely many modalities that we offer. A lot more since since the last time you've been. Peptides we offer peptide therapy. So peptides are a sequence of amino acids, and dependent on that sequence, it will form a peptide. Nice. And that peptide will upregulate or downregulate different pathways in your body. Nice. So something like CJC, ipamorelin, it's gonna light up the pathway toward the anterior pituitary gland to ask for more growth hormone in your body naturally, nothing exogenous. Growth hormone injected, that's exogenous. This is natural. You're just asking more growth hormone, better sleep, more muscle gain, fat loss, all the stuff that comes with it.
Does that directly I don't want to say manipulate, but affect like hormone levels?
It could definitely affect IGF-1 levels.
Okay.
Because you're gonna have that excess of growth hormone in your body. But then again, you also got to know genetically, are you predisposed to cancer and stuff like that? Because that will also enlarge with the excess of growth hormone.
Of course.
So knowing those stuff, but we offer that at our facility with an MD. We have nurses on staff, testosterone replacement. We offer IV therapy, sports therapy, massage therapy, dietary consulting, stretching. I mean, it's a long laundry list. Red light bed now.
Yeah, even when I last went a couple months ago, you still had a lot. And I really see it. I don't know if this was the concept you were going with, like a one-stop shop, where you can really do everything, right?
Yep.
Yeah, wow, man. That's incredible. Is there anything else that you missed that you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, red light, hot plunge, cold plunge, dietitian. I said that. We're adding a chiropractor. So adjustments will be added to the membership very soon.
When are you going to add the buffet? That way we'll never leave. It's like
slowly but surely the buffet starts coming out,
Man, that's funny, bro. But that's great, man. So the second location, has it launched officially or no?
So we're weeks away.
Nice.
We just started with the interior design. We're going to start building in. Equipment's already inside.
Yeah.
So very, very shortly we're going to be launching a date.
You got to be super excited for that.
I'm excited.
How many locations do you see yourself having in Miami, and is there any other states right now that you want to break ground in and potentially expand to? Or
I this is definitely a national concept that we're going for. We want to do definitely upward 40, 50 locations. We can, Vegas, we want to get there, we want to be in Cali, we want to be, in Tampa.
Yeah.
So, as of right now, we're focusing on, definitely getting this area down packed and doing it right. Is the most important to us, but yeah, definitely we want to grow.
Yeah.
That's our path.
I love that, man. Well, man, this has been a great interview, bro. I definitely want to get you back probably in a couple months to get an update on the new location and kind of some of the things that you're doing. Is there any like events or any new things you want to announce or anything that's coming soon that people should know about?
I mean, as of right now, come see us at RECVR, downtown. We're going to be launching, as Midtown Lounge in RECVR. So come through. It's going to be great. One-stop shop. Yeah.
We'll link everything below. We'll put his Instagram. We'll put your personal Instagram and all that stuff. Do you guys have an official website for RECVR?
Yeah. www.recvrbrand.com is the website.
There we go. Perfect. So we'll see you there. I guarantee you, if you go, you'll see me, right? Especially now because I re-signed up to do boxing again. So I'm going to be in there crying to him every day about how my back hurts and my shoulders hurt, and he can fix me like he did before. All right. But yeah, man, thanks for coming on the show, bro. I really appreciate it. You guys can check out this episode. We'll be uploading some reels too. And check them out. Follow them. I stand by the brand. You guys know I never promote anybody that I haven't had direct influence with and worked with. All right. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.